Okay. Good evening, I suppose. It's 4:20. Is that evening? I'm not sure. Not yet. Today is February 8th, 2024. And this is voting session of the Ways and Means Committee. First, we're going to call out House Bill 26, and there are amendments. Delegate Feldmar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Of the Small Minority and Women-Owned Business Account, SMWOBA, to allow grants of up to $10,000 in conjunction with a loan. There is one amendment. The amendment maintains the ability of eligible fund managers under the Small Minority and Women-Owned Businesses account to provide investment capital to eligible businesses in the state. Move the amendment.
Okay, is there any discussion on the amendment? Okay, all in favor of the amendment, please raise your hand. Any opposed, please raise your hand. The amendment passes. Is there a motion on the bill? Okay, it's been moved and seconded as amended. I don't think we need to do a roll call on this. All in favor of the bill as amended signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the bill passes favorably as amended. And I should say for Haley, you probably know, but Delegate Attar and Delegate Long are excused. House Bill 35. Delegate, oh no, Stan, I'm sorry, because Delegate Attar is not here.
Got it. Okay, so House Bill 35, this requires local permit offices to include an estimated construction cost when submitting a copy of a building permit to SDAT, and the bill codifies current practice.
Second. Okay, any discussion on the bill? Delegate Griffith?
Thank you, Madam Chair. My concern with this bill is, from my understanding, and Stan, please correct me if I'm wrong, there is no standardized process for these inspectors to give the estimated cost of construction. Additionally, we don't know that these inspectors have any experience in giving the estimated cost of construction. Frankly, this is a situation where I actually would support this if we had more regulation and we delineated exactly what this would be, because we have 24 jurisdictions, 24 inspectors, 24 different experience levels, and unfortunately, 24 opportunities for potential bias, right? Because these evaluations can impact somebody's property value. And for any level of bias, any level of experience, any level of interpretation without guidance from the General Assembly to delineate exactly what we're looking for and how they should be doing these processes, especially with individuals who may not have experience in estimating cost of construction. That's what I'm concerned about. This may be picking winners or losers based upon jurisdiction, community, race, background, all kinds of various things. So that's my concern about this bill until we provide more guidance on what we're looking for.
Okay, Delegate Hartman?
I have to thank you, Madam Chair. I have to concur with what Delegate Griffith just said. You know, there's so many variations as well. Qualities, finishes, and things like that. Just, you know, as building costs were going up, just generalizations as to cost, and that's not always necessarily carried across the board. So it's very easy to get caught into a situation where, you know, it's just so many assumptions and so forth. And I share that concern greatly.
Any further discussion on the motion for favorable? Delegate Fair?
I actually do have a question just to understand this, because I don't think the bill calls this out at all. It says the person responsible for issuing building permit shall immediately after issuing a building permit submit a copy of the building permit and the estimated cost of construction. Is it reasonable to assume that they could be getting that cost of construction from the person requesting the permit, Stan?
Absolutely. Yeah, I believe that is where they get the estimated construction cost from. It's just whatever they already have when they request the building permit, whatever they have for construction costs, they just pass that on. And that's being done already across the state. This is, and whatever construction costs they get, that's just a starting point for SDAT. It's not the end point. So they don't just rotely say, you know, the construction cost is 200,000, therefore your assessment goes up by 200,000. It's just one factor, one piece of information that SDAT uses to go out and evaluate the cost of any improvements that are made.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? Okay, I'm gonna do a roll call on the favorable. Madam Vice Chair?
Yes.
Delegate Ebersol?
Yes.
Delegate Patterson?
Yes.
Delegate Buckle? Delegate Wells? Delegate Hornberger? Delegate Fair? Delegate Young? Delegate Miller? Delegate Henson? Delegate Roberts? Delegate Grossman? Delegate Wims? Delegate Vogel? Delegate Wu? Delegate Hartman? Delegate Miracle North? Delegate Griffith? Delegate Plavkovich Carr? Delegate Feldmark?
Yes.
House Bill 35 passes as favorable. House Bill 80, and there are amendments, Madam Vice Chair.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Madam Chair. House Bill 80, Election Law, Party and Elected Public Offices Prohibition. We have passed this piece of legislation several times in the House. As you may recall, the bill prohibits an individual from simultaneously being a candidate for or holding both an elected public office and a party office. There is an amendment on this bill that clarifies that when we say party office, it means a member of a county central committee of a political party. So if someone, for example, the Maryland Democratic Party, they held a seat in the executive board or something like that, they're still able to do that. So we wanted to clarify that in the amendment. I move favorable on the amendment.
Any discussion on the amendment? Delegate Young?
Thank you, Madam Chair. My question is, I was looking at some of the testimony, and it was brought up in one that this would also apply to folks who are elected to a school board. And I know that the vast majority of when we talk about this really has to do with larger, or I guess more consequential roles like delegate, city council. But some of our school board members, like, they are unpaid as well, and they may be both. So I just want to make sure that we're okay applying it also to those types of individuals also.
That's a good clarifying question, Delegate. The bill does apply to any other elected office, so it would include school board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On the amendment, Delegate Hornberger?
This may be on the bill, and I should have asked this during the presentation, but forgot. In years past, we had carved out attendees to the convention. Is that still in there?
Yes.
Any more discussion on the amendment? Okay, all in favor of the amendment, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The amendment passes. Is there a motion on the bill as amended? Any discussion on the bill as amended? Okay, all in favor of the bill as amended, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay, we're gonna do a quick roll call. Thanks, Buckle. Oh, I didn't get it. Okay. All right. The motion is for a favorable on the bill as amended. Madam Vice Chair?
Yes.
Delegate Ebersol? Delegate Patterson? Delegate Buckle? Delegate Wells? Delegate Hornberger? Delegate Fair? Delegate Long is excused. Delegate Young? Delegate Miller? Delegate Henson? Delegate Roberts? Delegate Grossman? Delegate Wims? Delegate Vogel? Delegate Wu? Delegate Hartman? Delegate Miracle North? Delegate Griffith? Delegate Attar is excused. Delegate Plavkovich Carr? Delegate Feldmark?
Yes.
House Bill 80 passes favorably as amended. House Bill 112. Who's, Madam Vice Chair.
Thank you, Madam. persons doing public business disclosure requirements. In terms of background on this bill, as you know, businesses with state contracts are required to file a report on ownership of the business with the Secretary of State. They're also required to file a report on political contributions with the State Board of Elections. All this bill does is consolidate the two reports into one, which would be filed with the State Board. I move the bill favorable.
Any discussion on the bill? Okay, all in favor of the favorable signify by saying aye. Any opposed? House Bill 112 passes favorably. House Bill 154, Delegate Stan Ward.
Just filling in for Delegate Attar. Um, All right, so this bill allows a homeowner who's enrolled in the homeowner protection program to receive the homeowner's property tax credit retroactively for up to 3 years.
Second.
Any discussion on the bill? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? House Bill 154 passes favorably. House Bill 284, Delegate Plakovich-Carr. Is that you? Oh, Delegate Ebersol.
Sponsor though. And this bill does not have a sponsor problem. This bill alters the telephone number that must be provided to students in grades 6 through 12 from the Maryland Youth Crisis Hotline to the 988 Suicide and Crisis Hotline. The County Board of Education is required to print telephone number prominently in the student handbook and on a student's identification card, but the bill applies only prospectively and does not require that old handbooks or identify cards be reissued. Move the bill.
Any discussion on the bill? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? House Bill 284 passes favorably. House Bill 386, Delegate Ebersol.
Thank you. This bill allows elementary schools that participate in the Maryland Meals for Achievement in Classroom Breakfast Program with approval by MSDE and the school's county board to serve breakfast in any broadly accessible part of the school from grab-and-go carts. Students must be allowed to consume their meals in the classroom at the start of the school day. Additionally, secondary school meals provided through grab-and-go carts must be placed in broadly accessible parts of the school as well. Move the bill.
Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? House Bill 386 passes favorably. House Bill 410, and there are amendments. Delegate Feldmark.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 410 alters the permissible uses of the Equitech Growth Fund in the Maryland Technology Development Corporation and a related mandated appropriation to allow for the payment of costs to administer the fund. The bill likewise alters the existing mandated appropriation so that the annual $5 million appropriation is made to the fund and not for awards. There is one amendment. The amendment alters the effective date of the bill to align with the beginning of the fiscal year. Move the amendment.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there a motion on the bill as amended? Any discussion? You guys got a whole show going on. Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? House Bill 410 passes favorably as amended. House Bills 29, 442, and 560 have been withdrawn. We need a motion for an unfavorable.
Move on favor. Madam Chair, I
Oh,
move
on-
unfavorable on the withdrawals as a consent.
Yes. Is there a second? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. They have been withdrawn, and that concludes today's voting session. Thank you, everybody.